the person at the end, HPT supplier, that is KEMSA, they are able to see that this drug is going down. So then it assists them in their operations to ensure that then they reorder and restock on that. On the other end of KEMSA, Your Excellency, are the manufacturers and vendors, that they are able then to monitor stocks within here. So what this system is doing, Your Excellency, it is removing the brokers that were in between. In terms of, and what they were doing is just to increase the cost of product. So now with this system, it cuts out, because KEMSA has visibility of usage of the products on this end, and on this side, they have control because they have communication with the suppliers and the manufacturers of the items, Your Excellency. Similarly, Your Excellency, this system, it eliminates all the issues that we have had regarding claims at NHIF, because we have an electronic claims management system here. When this patient is going through all the services, information is being collected. So now you cannot introduce a fake patient in between, neither can you introduce a fake service in between, because we have an itemized invoice being managed with an electronic claims management system.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Welcome to the Minister of ICT.
Yes. Welcome, Your Excellency. This is the Ministry of ICT. Here we want to espouse how we are leveraging on ICT to development agenda, Your Excellency. You are aware that in your government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the digital superhighway is a standalone thematic area because it is an enabler to all facets of what we want to do, and also a critical success factor moving forward. So we have gone in the delivery of digital infrastructure, where we have the establishment and operationalization of the 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots, the 1,450 village digital hubs, the rollout of the 100,000 kilometers of fiber, the setting up of the data centers, and then how, through the Office of the Data Commissioner, we are coming up with an elaborate risk mitigation framework that ensures both data privacy and data security. On the flip side of it, Your Excellency, with that infrastructure in place, we are also going to illustrate how we are leveraging on ICT to move away from the traditional way of doing business to e-commerce. We will also illustrate how we are facilitating optimal exploitation of the potential of the creative industry through our studio Mashinani, which is domiciled within the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. We will also illustrate, Your Excellency, how through ICT we are facilitating virtual registration of journalists through the Media Council of Kenya. So we'll start with PS Professor Kisangani to illustrate what we have here with respect to e-commerce.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Our journey has been a long one from this booth. I'm sure you used it one time. As you are calling, people are still queuing to pick it. But you can see we have moved even in terms of the post offices. We are no longer using it. Some services are not going through this because they are digital. You can deliver letters through the courier services. But as you can see from this illustration, Post Office has already done 772 services, passports delivered through this procedure, and we can still do other things in agriculture, and so long as you just make your order, you can make your order and the pay, and the poster can deliver even to the last mile. So that's where we are, and we are no longer storing money in boxes and strong rooms. Now we can use the digital transformation to do that. So I think you could say, CS has mentioned something about registration of journalists, Your Excellency, and this is where the Media Council is. They have been registering journalists. All you need is to make an application using your phone, and then you will have to be approved and then registered. So anytime they come to functions like this one of yours, they will be just checked, and then that verification can be done, Your Excellency. And I think this is a pet project to you. You have been talking about talent building. Studio Mashinani is here. They are just demonstrating the training that we undertake at Studio Mashinani as they develop talent in music, quick in acting, and KBC is on it, and it has been doing a very good job. So here is where we shall have the creative economy developed from our KBC studios, and then we make money out of that. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Then, Your Excellency, let's come to the digital infrastructure here. PS Tanui will take us through the digital infrastructure and other facets of our digital transformation agenda.
Welcome, Your Excellency.
Ordering medicine, agriculture.
Supporting all the other sectors is one of our role to ensure we deliver for support health, agriculture, and all the others, and to support a real transformational agenda.
For the country and making it accessible to any. The digital superhighway program.
This we are building the infrastructure across the country, the 100,000 kilometers. We have identified all the points that we are going to deploy, and we are going to work with private sector and also public sector institutions. And the main 5 points, Your Excellency, on the digital superhighway are this: rollout of 25,000, 1,000 automation of government services, implementation of the addressing system to support e-commerce, and digital skills that will focus on jobs and entrepreneurship. Your Excellency, to ensure we connect effectively, we are going to also explore new solutions like this satellite solution. One of the satellite solutions that can be used where there is no fiber will connect. And Your Excellency, the digital superhighway goes to the device, and this is one of the devices that we are working with the private sector. Michael is from Safaricom. These are the devices. First week of August,
yes,
around there.
I want you to speak to that. I had a candid discussion with Safaricom, all the other telcos. You people told me 28th of July, you will have the first rollout of the $40 smartphone. Can you speak to that?
Your Excellency, thank you for your patience and your memory. So these are the sample devices that we are working through. That is the 6.5 inch, and that is the 5 inch. So this is the entry phone, entry smartphone, and this is the 6.5 smartphone. These are actually the test devices that we're working through testing and to be submitted for formal approval from a testing perspective. From a timeline perspective, we are working through. Oh, sorry. We are working through the process of the factory setup. The first part of the assembly equipment is now in country and being cleared. We are looking at the next couple of weeks. So we are fairly confident in saying that in August we will have the
August, are you telling me to tell Kenyans that in August they can buy one of these phones from your enterprises?
Your Excellency, in August we expect that the factory will be producing phones that will be ready to go to market.
In August?
In August.
In August?
In August.
This year?
August 2023.
Okay.
Thank you.
You said it.
Your Excellency, to grow the digital economy and attract investment, we have the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner. She can speak about some of the things she's doing.
Thank you, Excellency, and welcome to our stand. Our role as the Office of the Data Commissioner in these two spouses, the digital economy. And you know, in the era of digital economy, there's a lot of information exchanging, and that is personal data. So we are responsible for making sure that is safe towards digital economy. To Your Excellency, because of the data protection regime, we are able to get more investors into the country so that they're able to invest in this economy. Thirdly, Your Excellency, as an office, all our services are online. We have registration. Your Excellency, you launched the portal. As we speak, we have a portal here to show we have over 3,000 who have registered since January this year. Also, we have complaints. Anyone who is, just to give Kenyans confidence, if there is a breach in as far as their data is concerned, they can file a complaint with us, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Your Excellency. And here we have one of our entities concerned ICT Authority and helping us to implement most of our programs. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Welcome to the ICT Authority. We provide technology to power government digitization. And for us, the aim is to improve the quality of life, accelerate economic growth, raise productivity and national competitiveness. Your Excellency, we have walked a long journey in the area of automation, as you've seen from the old technology, but really what we are looking at is establishing and coming up with an intelligent government where all entities speak to each other and it is citizen-centric. We are guided by one point of reference. We have put together all our plans to support all the sectors in one plan, which we are calling the ICT Master Plan. And this plan is also providing investors with opportunities where they can be able to plug in the sector. We do have, under the plan, 4 key pillars, Your Excellency. Our PS has spoken to the digital infrastructure, the work we are doing on the rollout of fiber and Wi-Fi. But today, tied to our launch today, is the area of the digital services, Your Excellency. Digital services is anchored on a number of pillars. And what we see as the e-citizen system is a one-stop shop for government. But below it, we have established, and we are in the process of establishing a number of pillars. One of it is the digital identity. Then we are also supporting all the government agencies in automation of their records and digitization of those records, and then also providing the government systems which will then help operationalize the digitization. Your Excellency, just to take you back quickly, the other 2 pillars, one is on digital innovation and enterprise. For this, we have done e-commerce portal, which as we deploy the public Wi-Fi, the people in the markets can go in as a marketplace, and we are going to show you just quickly how that works. We realize that as we deploy this technology, and we onboard services and we avail services online, we need to empower our people for them to be able to utilize these services and also skill the public sector for them to deploy and serve our citizens. So, Your Excellency, we will just later on show you.
So my question to you is exactly on that lady there. Can you go back there where you are? Have you've just come from? No. Yeah, here. You remember this, so what, because you've talked about digital skills, right? And e-commerce and digital jobs, yeah? Digital opportunities. So, what is the plan on digital skills? Because we have the program that we are working with TVETs. We have asked our members of parliament to work with you at the ICT to establish digital hubs.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Or ICT hubs.
Yes.
1,450, one in every ward.
Yes, Your
and I am happy that members of parliament have agreed, and they are already working on the legislation to enable CDF to be deployed in that. And then number 3, we also need to bring, working with the counties, and I'm happy Governor Sakaja was here, working with the counties to bring the vocational training centers. There are about 4,000 of them. The vocational training centers in every part of Kenya should be brought into these metrics of them being centers where we can deploy the education on e-learning, e-commerce, and e-skills.
Yes.
Have you thought about that beyond what we are doing, Waziri?
Yes. Thank you, Your Excellency. We have already have consultative sessions with the Council of Governors, and the county governments have committed to make the vocational training centers available for this purpose. We have agreed on very, very clear roles and responsibilities. As government, we are going to provide the internet, we are going to provide the personnel. But the county governments, first of all, they will ensure that as we roll out the fiber, they will not be charging anything for the way it lives. That will be free to enhance connectivity. They'll also then subsequently ensure that the polytechnics are available for us to deploy the devices, and they are going a step further to facilitate defrayal of the cost of electricity in all those institutions, so for purposes of sustainability.
And have you also considered, just in case the counties don't have the money, for example, to put up an extra ICT facility to be used in the TVET, in the vocational training center?
Yes.
Have you considered how we can work with members of parliament?
Yes.
Because members of parliament have proposed that they can use the CDF facility to build either a lab or an extra classroom for this purpose. I would suggest that you explore the possibilities of, just in case, because many of these facilities may not have the requisite infrastructure for you to deploy the internet and the e-learning facility.
Again, Your Excellency, that's work in progress. In fact, it is at the very tail end. We have had consultations with the members of parliament through our ICT committee of the National Assembly and the ICT committee of the Senate. They have committed to provide facilities in each and every ward where we can do the deployment of the village digital laboratories. They have gone a step further, Your Excellency, to facilitate amendments to the relevant acts that would enable them to meet some of the costs of the challenges we have been facing, such as electricity, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Welcome to the home of hustlers.
Your Excellency, welcome to the Ministry of Cooperative and MSME, Your Excellency. If you don't mind, you can take a 2-minute sit, or if you can start. Your Excellency, you can choose. You can choose. Prime, the Deputy President. And Your Excellency, you gave a promise to Kenyans that government of Kenya will be able to budget and allocate 50 billion shillings per year. Your Excellency, this is about financial inclusion, financial literacy, digital literacy across the country. Today, that time, Your Excellency, we were talking about simulation. Today, we are talking of a story. We have traveled the journey. Today is exactly 7 days. This is the youngest fund in Kenya, but the largest fund at the same time. So, Your Excellency, I'll take you about 2 minutes to just show you and demonstrate the journey we've traveled since November 30th last year. Your Excellency, to access this fund, you go to a USSD code, *254, and then that takes you to the page of the Hustler Fund. Your Excellency, this is the journey we've traveled. The first product is personal loan product. You can see from here, in November, that one day, we recorded 410,000 subscribers. In December, we recorded 16.1 million subscribers. Over time, this month of June, 210,000 were subscribers. In total, Your Excellency, we have been able to register borrowers. 17.2 of those 20.56 are borrowing currently under personal loan. Now, these are the features and the statistics that we are generating from that data. Gender distribution. The men are 53%, women 47%. And I think that's about training. We need to do training because I believe women are could be the biggest beneficiaries. Look at the phone type. The feature phone is 55%, meaning truly the borrowers are hustlers, and the smartphone is 45%. Now look at also the distribution in terms of counties. The lowest county is 51,000 subscribers, and the highest, which is Nairobi, is 2 million subscribers, which is almost related to the population distribution across the country. Also, it tells you the fund is equitable. It spreads across the country. Next page, please. Now, the personal loan product, this is the repayment. The county of Nyeri are good people, generally, in terms of payment and honoring debts. And you can see from this number, 76% are paying, Kiambu and all the way. That is how the payment and the demographics we are generating. Now, you go to the next one, the group loan product. Your Excellency, on the 1st of June, during Madaraka Day in Embu, you launched the second product. The number of groups we have been able to register so far, as of today, this morning, is 273,746. The ones that are active and ready to borrow are 26,220, meaning 9.6 of the groups that have been formed. The average, the number of members is approximately 1 million who have borrowed. Now, the ones who have been approved is 6.7, the one undergoing approval is 333. The average ticket, the average loan which has been disbursed is 77 million, and the number of loans that have been issued is 11,000, and the groups that have borrowed are 11,431. Now, the other information we are getting, the average ticket now to the groups is 6,739, and the highest ticket, the highest group that has borrowed is 54,000. Our journey is to move from, our highest ticket will be 200,000 when the groups attain their limit. The loan repayment we have also recorded. Now, when it comes to group, you see the disparity widens. There are more men who are borrowing under groups, 58%, women are 42%. Basically, we think it's about training, sensitization, and capacity building. Now, look at the average age of borrowers. Over 18 to 29, the character and the age of the group is 43%. Basically saying these are youth. And then you go to below 50%.
You're saying 70% of the borrowers are below the age of 39?
39, yes, sir.
That is 70%?
70%.
When you go to the average ticket size,
yes,
our plan was they should borrow between 20,000 and 200,000.
200,000, excellent.
So the highest at the moment
is 54,000.
Is 54. Is that's the highest ticket
so far?
So far.
But they are on a journey. As they borrow and repay, we keep changing the limit and raising up. And I believe, and again, it depends on the group. If the group has it's made of members who participated in the first Hustler Fund. So if you borrowed and paid on time, then your credit score is very high. So the average of the members gives you the limit for that group. So let's go to the next page, please. So registration and formalization, you see we have this e-certificate from MCEA as part of onboarding, and there is a graduation we are building and partnership we are forming. If you allow me, let me allow the PS to just take us through the formalization and partnership. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. This has proven to be the most productive digital financing product across the globe. So here, the story we are telling here is that all the Hustler Fund beneficiaries with positive credit score can now be graduated from the personal loan to the second loan which you are having right now, product which is Chama. And then in the next 2 months, we'll be launching the SME loan and also the startup loan. But again, there is an opportunity now to graduate them based on their positive credit to the Youth Enterprise Fund loan, to Wezo Fund, and also for those ones who are interested in borrowing loans to invest in the manufacturing sector to the level of 20 million shillings, they can also access through KIE without necessarily providing collaterals, because now we are building a culture of credit score. Let's move on. And again, through this product, we've been having conversation with a development partner. The financing gap in Kenya, as far as MSME is concerned, is 20 billion USD. And now they are willing to take on board all the Hustler Fund beneficiaries, the 20+ million Kenyans who have subscribed through that and have registered credit score. We scaled them up so that they can move from micro, small, medium, and eventually to large enterprises. So far we have commitments, we have commitment from the World Bank. We are working on the 3 programs with them, which will benefit the Hustler Fund beneficiaries who have positive credit score. We have KFW, who have put in 3 billion million Kenyan shillings to support entrepreneurship development, again, of the Hustler Fund beneficiaries. We have ADB, JICA, EU, and many other partners coming on board. And also, we've had expression from the commercial banks, including KCB. In fact, KCB were asking us, when can we start lending to these 7 million regular borrowers of the Hustler Fund? And we are working out there. We are nurturing a culture of credit score. As you know, we didn't have that culture. Already the 7 million Kenyans who had been listed in the credit bureau have now successfully been rehabilitated, and now they can be integrated back to the economy. We're also working with the private sector to create a reliable credit score based on alternative data driven by opportunities. For example, those who are investing in our priority value chains, dairy, leather, building and construction, can now have a metric that can support them to access higher. And Your Excellency, here we are promoting a saving and investment culture. I didn't see you with your phone because you were first Hustler Fund beneficiary. You would have checked your saving balance. But I know Mheshimiwa Lelengemit can be able to check. She has been a very good borrower. As I take His Excellency through this slide, start checking your saving balance for us. And here so far, through the mandatory savings, we've been able to mobilize about 1.6 billion in just 8 months. And also, we can talk of voluntary saving, which we just launched 3 months ago, that is now has risen to 60 million. Through this culture of saving and investment, we are asking our hustlers can now invest in housing, can invest in health insurance, in education, and any other program that can benefit them in future. We are now, Your Excellency, through this particular progress, we are now transiting our society from social protection to social security. Market linkages, again, Your Excellency, we want to create a virtual market to enhance access to market both local and globally for over 20 million MSMEs that we have in Kenya.
Thank you. So, thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. Maybe the last one is the power of partnership, public-private partnership. Without the private sector, Safaricom, Airtel, Telcom, KCB, Family Bank, we would not be where we are. So we are showcasing the power of public-private partnership. And that platform we are creating will create e-commerce. 20 million people can create a powerful e-commerce. The aggregation centers we are building in our counties will be a very good area where we can also showcase the Hustler Fund. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Waziri. I think the success of the Hustler Fund that is built on a digital platform speaks to the whole of government approach to digitizing government services. 20 million Kenyans, 17 million borrowers, 7.1 million regular borrowers on the Hustler Fund have been able to transact with government, with the Hustler Fund, without knowing anybody. They didn't have to go to no office, they didn't have to speak to nobody, they didn't have to pay no one. Each and every member of our society has been able to access, and the numbers are here. They speak for themselves. County by county, we have 2 million people in Nairobi County. We have 1.1 million people in Kiambu, 848 million in Nakuru, all the way Kwale, 270,000, not million, 270,000 people. Nyandarua, 200,000 people. Elgeyo Marakwet, 140. So all these Kenyans, Homa Bay, Migori, 322. Taita Taveta, or that's what? Trans Nzoia, 327. You know, Embu, 278,000. All these Kenyans have been able to access this financial government service without having to talk to anybody. It is the same reason why today we are launching another 5,000 government services that will travel the same journey as the Hustler Fund. You don't have to know anybody. You don't have to go to no office. You can actually interact with government, access government service, pay for government service, without having to go to no office or to see anybody or to bribe anybody or to influence anybody. That is the kind of government we are building. On a digital platform, using technology, we can make government efficient, we can get government effective, and we can make government accountable. We don't have to lose any money because of pilferage or because of interaction or people, Kenyans having to bribe anybody to have access to any government service. I know members of parliament like Mr. Lelmengit here, they were waiting for government to give them the Hustler Fund money so that they can go and set up an office and distribute the money to their supporters. I'm sorry, Mr. Lelmengit and your group, that it was not possible. The digital platform assisted us, and we made things easier for you. You don't have to struggle identifying people. You don't have to be blamed for giving this guy and not giving the other guy. Technology has made a lot of things easy for us. Did you have something to say, Mheshimiwa?
Yes, Your Excellency. I'm also a beneficiary of the Hustler Fund. From the first day, I borrowed 5,000 when you launched, 500 shillings when you launched. And now I can comfortably borrow 3,500. My savings is around 3,200. And we have voluntary savings and we have mandatory savings. Okay. So it depends. When it's you borrow, for example, you borrow 3,000 shillings, mandatory savings is 150 shillings. Okay. But we can also add on the voluntary savings.
Very good.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Karibu to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Labor. Karibu, sir.
Karibu sana, Your Excellency. Here it's a partnership between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora and the Ministry of Labor. It's about Kazi Maju. We're also cutting the middleman. So what we've come up with a platform whereby Kenyans can go online and look for job opportunities all over the world. So we'll be posting a lot of opportunities from different countries. You go in there, you find a section where you can put in your details. It connects you to agents who are recruiting people from different parts of the world or even from this country. You are able to also be able to get a skill assessment done so you can look at the different opportunities, and we connect you directly to the employer. It goes all the way until you leave the country with even a stamp that allows you to leave the country, that immigration has cleared you, that you are going to a job that is known. It will also be able to track the remittances and how your life is continuing overseas. So itakuwa ni kama kazi chap chap. Hakuna mambo ya kungojea kutafutiwa kazi na mtu. You log in, you get your job, and we'll be feeding the jobs here and cutting out scrupulous agents. So if an agent is not listed in this system, you don't trust them. Kenya government itself, the Ministry of Diaspora, will also become agents. We are forming teams that will be going out in the crowd, different parts of the world, looking for jobs and uploading them so that Kenyans can also apply for those jobs that have been sought out by the Kenyan government. I'm going to give the Minister of Labor to say a few words, and we've got a champion, Judy Chepchichiru, who has been able to send over 7,000 people overseas. And we've got a young man called Zablon who today wants to apply and look for a job immediately and get posted so that he can leave the country in a month and go look for opportunities overseas. Your Excellency, Kazi Maju. So Kenyans need to be ready to apply.
Two questions, Waziri.
Yes, sir.
I asked you and your colleague in Ministry of Labor to work on bilateral labor agreements, so that we can have a framework where Kenyans access the jobs in a manner that nobody takes advantage of them. We negotiate ahead of time. We know how they are going to stay. How far are we on the matter of bilateral labor agreements? Question number one, because that's the correct framework for us to do it. Number two, you know the intention of this government is to make sure that we take our remittances from 400 billion to 1 trillion. Beyond. 1 trillion is our mark. How many jobs is the target for the next 5 years? How many Kenyans do we want to export as labor to other countries? What is the target?
Thank you, Your Excellency. The first one about bilateral labor, and I'll let my colleague also answer some of the questions. I don't want to hog the microphone. As the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we make sure that first we have bilateral agreements, frameworks with different countries. For example, in Australia, they are looking for people as low, not as low, but people who don't even need to have a lot of skills. You can go there with a bit of skill as a barrister, you can go there as a little skill, as a sweeper, and all that. And they're importing them from Europe. Kenyans can't go there because we don't have a bilateral framework, so we can't even sign a bilateral labor agreement. So we are trying to get bilateral frameworks with as many countries as possible. The Ministry of Labor then comes in and initiates bilateral labor agreements, and she'll be able to tell you how far we are. We have signed quite a bit, and we're working on the others. I will let Judy also answer the question on the issue of the numbers, because we've been dealing without the answer, so that at least somebody gets a chance to say something also.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is an integrated system. We call it Diaspora Labor Integrated System. On this system, we have everyone here. We have the job seeker, we have the recruitment agencies, and as a ministry, we do the bilateral labor agreements. We've already done with the Gulf regions. We already had for domestic workers, but now we want to review to have the other skills brought on board so that we are able to export everyone, not just the domestic workers. So we've done with the Gulf region. We are about to do with Germany. We are about to do with Canada, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, do you have time? How much time do we give you for the other? Because already we had conversation with the German government,
yes,
and they asked us that they want 250,000 workers.
Yes.
We have close to 100,000 workers going every year to Canada from all over the world.
True.
A part of that should come from Kenya. Mm-hmm. We have the same thing in South Korea. You remember we were in South Korea.
Yes.
We have the same thing in the US. We have the same thing in Australia. We have the whole of the Gulf region. Mm. So, and I want you to speak to the fact that the only reason why we have all these problems with the domestic workers is because that was the only labor agreement we had.
True.
We have more people in Kenya with better skills, with more skills than domestic workers.
True, Your Excellency.
But we didn't provide for a framework.
The other skills.
The other skills.
Yes.
What are you doing to make sure that the other skills are included in that exercise?
PS has been working on the bilateral labor agreements with the other technical teams from the other countries. Let him speak about
PS.
That is correct. Thank you very much, sir. In the recent past, we have moved towards professional and skilled cadres. We have sent out 10 BLS.
Bilateral labor agreements.
Yeah, bilateral labor agreements to different countries, including Poland, Australia. Next week we have a meeting with Germany. We already sent them a proposal in the form of a BLA. There is a meeting between Waziri and Canada next week, the Canadian High Commissioner on the Canadian jobs. So we are making progress on that front. We need, on average, 3 to 6 months to negotiate and to conclude all these BLS that are already in those countries, sir.
Okay. Jobs, how many, what is the target? How many jobs are we targeting?
At the moment, we can, per month, we'll be doing about 25,000. But if we ensure that the BLS in those countries go through, then we'll be able to get about 800,000.
Can I take it from you, Waziri, the two ministers and your teams, that by the end of this year, we must conclude the bilateral labor frameworks and the bilateral labor agreements so that we can open the opportunity for the millions of young people in Kenya today who have different skills, out of college, out of school, out of university, to access digital jobs that are available globally. Can I get an undertaking from you?
Yes, I give you an undertaking that by December this year, it's going to be a different playing field. And it's not just about, we have to provide opportunities for people to find the jobs, We're also doing a bit of training because they are competing with other nations, Philippines and others, for people to be able to qualify for the jobs and able to compete with others and get the employment. But also with the bilateral agreements is also to get good packages. For example, you find in some countries, if your passport is from a European country, you get, let's say, for example, 100,000 shillings. But if your passport is Kenyan, even though you're doing more work than the person, same qualifications, you're getting 30,000 shillings. So we are trying also to get an equity for our people, so their rights are also not abused in that way. But I give you an undertaking, Your Excellency, that by the end of this year, we'll be looking at those numbers of an average of about 85,000 people a month going overseas.
Can we listen to somebody from the private sector?
Thank you, Your Excellency. For us to be able to grow our remittance to $1 trillion, we need to look for job opportunities out of the country. And we do have a plan that we've laid down on the strategies on how these jobs, how the projections has to come out so that we achieve. And we gave you a proposal that for the ceiling 2023-2024, we are looking forward to create 1 million jobs so that for us to be able to grow our remittance. And we have the framework that we've started as agents, and we are working with the ministry so that to achieve that. Thank you.
What do you need to do? You are among the agents who are scouting for these jobs, right?
Yes.
Now, what has been the problem in the past between the agents, the government of Kenya, the jobs, and the other countries? And how have we addressed it over the last couple of months?
Thank you, Your Excellency. The problem that we had before is because the government was working in silos, where they were working and having information on their own, and the agents were on their own. But now, the recent few days that we've come together, we are working as a team, whereby the ministries sent us the information to where we are able to move. And we are on this other end telling the government where we need to look for jobs. Yep.
So there is now a collaboration under the framework we said. What was that framework we called it? Foreign employment?
Labor Export Acceleration Team.
Labor Export Acceleration Team.
Yes, thank you.
Make sure that we bring together the agents and the opportunities they have access to, and make sure that government facilitates the skills to identify where the skills are, connect them with the jobs, and be able to export labor. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you so
very
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Excellency.
Karibu to Visa, Your Excellency. This is Visa, Your Excellency. This beautiful lady is going to take you through.
Your Excellency, welcome to the Visa stand. My name is Eva, and I look after the Visa business in Kenya. First, congratulations on enabling over 5,000 services on eCitizen. We didn't think it was going to happen, but we're here today, so congratulations for that. But over and above that, we are a partner of eCitizen. We are powering the eCitizen platform through our secure payment gateway, CyberSource, that makes it possible for cardholders, whether locally or internationally, to pay for government services online. But as we are part of this transition journey, we are working with the Directorate of eCitizen to enable technology, to provide financial resources that will help create awareness, that will help create thought leadership, that will help advance the platform so that there is more access, and it's an engaging platform for the government to engage with the citizens. But the other thing, and I want to just take a minute of your time to talk about, is what Visa has done. As Gava goes mkononi, Visa has also gone mkononi. So we are now making it possible for hustlers to accept digital payments on their mobile phone. And that's what I want to take a minute to show you how we're doing it. Because if they can't collect, if they can pay if they can sell digitally, then they can pay for government services. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. My name is Paul, and I'm happy to take you through how a small trader or an hustler or any other businessman is able to receive payment digitally, and at the same time also be able to pay out the payment digitally. So Initially, we used to have a challenge whereby I needed to have a separate device for me to accept Visa transaction. But right now, what we've done, and it's been a journey, is all what you need is your phone. So as long as I have a smartphone, I can have the payment capability in my phone. Now with that, it will enable my customers, whether I'm a boda, mama boga, or I'm selling a shop like this one, and people are buying sodas and bread, they'll be able to pay digitally on my phone. And then when I receive the payment, I'll be able also to make my payment, either to my suppliers and other payments. So for example, thank you so much, Your Excellency. For example, if I'm in this shop here and you're buying bread and let's say some soda and some water, then I'll just go to my phone. It is just a normal phone. I'm using actually my own phone, and I'll be able to do a Visa transaction, assuming the items you've picked are for 450, then I'll be able to charge my card, and I'll be able to receive the money. So I'll receive the money from my card, and then the money will go to my bank account. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Welcome to Safaricom. The CEO of Safaricom is going to take you through, Your Excellency.
Yes, welcome. Very good.
Sorry.
Yeah. So you welcome, Your Excellency, Honorable Cabinet Minister. So you welcome to Safaricom. Yeah, so you're in the home of technology. First, I want to congratulate you for the big progress in terms of digitization and going over the milestone of 5,000 transactions, or rather services to the citizens. I still remember in November on 30th, when you were sitting asking me a question just before the launch of Hustler Fund, and you asked me the question, Peter, how do you feel? I told you, I hope the system will work. So I hope that I can demonstrate we have the capacity, but also it's secure, that it will work. So we are ready to be the platform that fuels and supports the whole digitization. We say it's about driving digital transformation through connectivity, because people have to be connected to the internet, through fintech, which is about payments and also credit, and also IoT and ICT, which is about solutions that allow digitization to work. So I'll start with the fintech side, which is the M-Pesa side. So of course, Safaricom enables real-time payments for government, and that creates transparency, but also from the person who is paying, it is lower cost, they do not have to travel, and we fuel secure transactions on a daily basis. And you've heard from all the rest of the presenters that they rely on M-Pesa in terms of payment. And the fundamental basis of M-Pesa is actually payments. Then we go to credit, which is where Hustler Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, you know, we are already in phase 2, and CS has spoken through the progress that we are making. We are pleased with what we are able to do, and we are looking forward to phase 3 and 4, Your Excellency. The third one is vouchering. We are powering the fertilizer project, which through the Ministry of Agriculture. So both the actual platform, but also the user journey, including the stock management, that is being powered by Safaricom, but also the actual payment. So it's not just the payment, but it's also the platform that allows farmers to claim the subsidy. And remember that they started with how we were using vouchers for refugees. Now we can use them for claiming fertilizer subsidy. We can go to inputs. And we already have 3.2 million bags of fertilizer, which has already been redeemed, worth 11 billion Kenya shillings by registered farmers. We have 489,000 farmers who have already claimed the subsidies. We are also working with other agencies of government, like HELP, the Higher Education Loan Board. So students can actually pay and manage their loans through this, including we are giving them a credit score so that they understand which students are doing the right thing. And the money is actually, we ensure that the money is used for what it is supposed to be used for. So if money is used for, it's supposed to be used for tuition, it goes to tuition. If the rest of the money is open, then the platform actually manages that. The second thing that we wanted to talk to you, Your Excellency, is connectivity. And our commitment is to ensure that everyone has access to the internet, whether it's through mobile and also through the fiber network. I know you have a big plan for the fiberization of the country. We already have 450,000 homes passed through our fiber network, but also our fiber infrastructure that supports our mobile network can be the backbone and also support the work that you are doing in terms of achieving the 100,000 kilometers. In terms of mobile, we are at 97% coverage on 2, 3, and 4G, and now we have launched 5G. We will have 800 sites at the end of this year in terms of 5G. But the most important is to make sure that we don't leave anyone behind. So we work with the ICT ministry through the USF to ensure those areas that are not commercially viable, they are managed through that fund. Now, of course, once you have connectivity, you need devices. And I know this is one thing that we have spoken for a while, and I know you've been updated by the ICT CS. Yes, we will have local production, and I know that you have already been updated, so I won't go through that. But I'll also say we also have funding in terms of pay as you go. We call it lipa mdogo mdogo, where a customer pays 500 shillings deposit and then 20 shillings off their M-Pesa every day, and they get a phone at the end of the period. And we don't charge a big interest. Our objective is to ensure that the customer has a phone. Because if they do have a phone, then also our services are secured through that phone.
So on that particular issue, Peter, first, let me say the following, that I very sincerely appreciate the partnership of Safaricom in all the areas you have mentioned. We did the Hustler Fund, and together with the other telcos, you led the way, and we appreciate that system. When I asked you that time, my worry was with a kind of avalanche, the system could have gone either way. But I'm happy that Safaricom has stabilized that system and it's working. On the e-voucher for our farmers, it is something that we have been discussing as government for years. I am very happy that this year, working with you and the other players, we delivered fertilizer to farmers on an e-platform, and all the other achievements we have made together. Two issues, Peter, and I want to, this is a discussion I have had with your Boniface, this man who has been to my office so many times and has been very useful. The smartphone. My good people there from ICT told me that August we will have the $40 smartphone. Is it 4G or 5G enabled?
It is it's 4G, smartphone, because that's the entry point for proper internet access.
Correct. So it will be, can I confirm again to you for the second time that in August we will have a rollout of those smartphones?
That is correct, Your Excellency.
I can hold you to account on that?
Yes, that is correct.
And on top of that, yes, you're making things even better. You're telling me that 5,400 Kenyans don't have to pay for it at once. Can they buy that phone lipa mdogo mdogo style?
They can?
They can.
So
they can have the option of buying through Lipa Mdogo Mdogo. They can buy it cash if they want.
Yes.
But they can also have the option of going through the credit.
So this smartphone that will allow many Kenyans to access all these services can be available. They pay down 500 shillings, pay 20 shillings every day, and own the phone finally.
That is correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I think that is something we should congratulate you for. Proceed.
I proceed. Thank you, Your Excellency. And also we also appreciate your support in helping us work with the various ministries, and we continue to partner with everyone, both at a national level but also at a county level. I know Governor Sakaja is here. We are also working together to ensure that both the counties are actually enabled in the same way that the national government is enabled. So thank you.
Finally, Peter, you have 250,000 network around the country of, is it agents?
We actually have 295,000 M-Pesa agents.
M-Pesa agents across Kenya?
That is correct.
These 295,000 M-Pesa agents, can they also have the government app, these 5,000 government services, can they be available at each of your agents' spots?
Yeah, in fact, that was the next point I was going to say, that we are happy to support the ministry and also your government in opening up the network, the agent network, to be able to serve Kenyans by having the ability for a person to go and visit the agent. We'll work with the ministry to work through the process of doing that. So whether it is 295,000 or it's a smaller number, we can work through that so that we make sure that those agents are also trained to make sure they can deliver the services. But there are points of sale that can allow citizens who go there every day anyway for M-Pesa services to access government services. The second aspect is on our M-Pesa Super app. Now on the smartphone, we have 8 million customers who have already downloaded the M-Pesa Super app. So they don't have to use USSD. They can actually go to the M-Pesa Super app and access the e-citizen. So we'll put the e-citizen as a mini app on the M-Pesa Super app. You can see the Hustler Fund mini app is already there. Now we'll be able to put the e-citizen as a mini app on the M-Pesa Super app. Just to give you an indication, about 7% of the revenue that M-Pesa comes from the app itself. It shows you just how important it is to actually give people smartphones, because they do more with their lives. And you can see they have many other services that they can access, including credit and other lifestyle services. And then the final thing that I want to speak to is on hosting. We host the e-citizen platform in a secure cloud network that is owned by Safaricom, and that is very important. That's why M-Pesa is very stable and reliable. So we host the e-citizens in a way that is secure. So as we digitize the ecosystem, it's important to emphasize security. And we have one of the best cyber security defense center at Safaricom. We have had a lot of banks and everyone stealing our people, because we do have very, very good skills on the cyber side. We also are now looking at IoT, which is Internet of Things, working with, say, utility companies or transport companies. This is how you connect devices. So, for example, on non-revenue water, we are working with EDOAS, for example, as a test and as a pilot to make sure that they can get a solution that allows them to reduce the non-revenue water. We can work with the Port Authority and others in terms of, and even the KRA in tracking transport.
Good. Thank you very much, Peter. I think that's quite a good story, and I agree with you that cybersecurity is going to be the next big thing. As we transit government services onto the digital platform, we must be careful that it is secure. We appreciate what Safaricom is doing, but I've already instructed Waziri here to work with his team to make sure that we have a backup of all the services of government at the DoD, and we have another backup
at a secure place, which I have told you where you're going to have several backup facilities, and that because of the sensitivity of this platform, now that the whole of government is moving into that platform, security becomes front and center. And I have told Waziri here to consult with his colleague Owalo so that we can consolidate the whole of the e-citizen platform at the Ministry of Interior, so that we are also seized of the security requirements that are necessary to secure the delivery of government service on a platform that cannot be accessed by people who don't have to.
That's great, Your Excellency, and we'll continue to work with the team. The final one is the communication itself. So we've worked with PHB Talk and the rest of the team in terms of coming up with the comms, and you've talked about the channels that we can enable, including the communication. We are experts in driving brand. You know what we did with Hustler Fund. We can also support on this, and very, very happy to be involved.
Thank you,
Sana, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We now welcome you to the world of digital content creators. Your Excellency, these are among the 1,000 jobs that are being created by digitizing. Your Excellency, karibu sana. This here is Phil. He's a top film content creator, and he has an online radio show that is live already, Your Excellency. Ukiingia hapo sasa utakuwa live kwa studio akuuliza maswali mbili.
We are the people making a living out of the internet connectivity and digital content creation. And on this channel, we just have conversations with men and women who've achieved success so that we understand the path that they took. Tunataka kujua, how does one man out of 50 million Kenyans become the president of the Republic of Kenya? What constitutes, what's the DNA of such a man? Is it their upbringing? What virtues? What culture did you have? Yeah, we want to know, how did you get here? How did you achieve success?
First, let me tell you, I'm just an ordinary Kenyan, like all other Kenyans. You don't have to be special, you don't have to be super, you don't have to be genius, you just need to be a simple Kenyan to be able to get where others get. And let me also tell you that we're all equal, both before God and before our Constitution. And you don't have to be special to achieve, or you don't have to be extraordinary to achieve extraordinary things. You can be ordinary, but still achieve extraordinary stuff. And being a leader is just like being an artist. I would also ask you, how did you, out of 50 million Kenyans, be the special guy that you are in your field? So it's just all of us are special in our own way. All of us have talent gifted differently. Not everybody can be president. Not everybody can be an artist, a good artist like yourself. It is just the paths people choose. But that does not make you extraordinary or special. It's just that you have an opportunity. God brings opportunities across. Hard work, determination, focus, drive, passion, takes you there. But you have to be available to do what you must do. Let me say this, that those of us who have the privilege to serve in certain categories, it is not because we are special. No, it is because we have opportunity. Very many Kenyans can do the job I do. Very many Kenyans can do the job you do, right? I consider myself privileged that out of 50 million Kenyans, I am today president. It's not because I am special in any way. God has given me an opportunity, and that is why I don't take it for granted, and that is why I work very hard, because I need to make a difference. That's why, for example, we are here today launching this program. A lady just across in Visa reminded me that when I told them as Visa that time because they are supporting us on e-citizen.
Yeah.
When I told her that we are going to have 5,000 government services in 6 months, she just said she didn't believe it, right?
Yeah.
But today, she is part of the launch of 5,084 government services that will be available online, digitized, completed. There are another 3,000 something services that are halfway towards completion. So it just takes determination. It takes focus, and commitment. And that is why I want to persuade the people of Kenya that it may have looked difficult, 6 months ago. How are we going to move from 320 services that were available online that time to 5,084? I haven't done it alone. I have done it with a huge team.
Yeah.
The people in the interior, I must say, they have done a wonderful job. The people in ICT, many Kenyans, the people working in ministries, departments, agencies, they have been part of this whole exercise. All I did is my part to provide the leadership. Okay. Then that we can go places as Kenya if we provide the requisite leadership. Many people are asking many questions. Are we going to get 200,000 jobs? Are we going to 200,000 houses? Are we going to get 1 million jobs? I want to tell the people of Kenya, it's possible. It's doable. We just need to act together. We just need to act in concert. Many people never believe, for example, that we will have a rollout of the Hustler Fund. In fact, some people, professionals, I don't want to say from where, told me, how is this going to work? This money will get lost. People in my office were telling me, this Hustler Fund will be a big failure because people will take the money and run away.
Yeah.
We've just gone through the statistics here. Over 70% of Kenyans are paying Hustler Fund, even though they were being told by some, politicians, oh, you take the money and run away. But you see, people can know where their lives are changing. If you have been paying, like many Kenyans were paying on that digital platform, you are paying 360%, 1% per day. Now you have an opportunity to pay 8% per year, 0.002% per day. Why would you want to abuse that kind of facility? That's why many Kenyans are paying. That's why we are now scaling up to Hustler 2. That is why we are looking at the SMEs field, and that's why we are going to go on to the startup capital for many people to drive their business. It is the same reason why when we told Kenyans we are going to where we are.
One minute. One in an edition.
Relax. Relax. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, asante.
Your Excellency, walking to SPM Bus. Yeah. This is an online TV created by this gentleman.
How are you? Very good. Tita.
Welcome to SPM Bus. Fully digital TV station.
Yes.
In it, we are youth vijana with reporters across the country.
Yes.
We train, equip, and give opportunities to aspiring journalists and content creators. Yes. And even this is one of our hosts.
Hi, Your Excellency. Good, thank you. My name is Viski Pinchi. I'm a host at SPM Bus.
Okay.
And my question, I have a question here.
Okay.
You've been very passionate about the digital.
Well, that is the program that is running as we speak. President William Ruto, accompanied by various government officials, going through several stands. Na labda tu turejelee lugha yetu ya Kiswahili ambayo ndio programu ambayo inaendelea kwa sasa. Ni kwamba Rais William Ruto anaendesha ama yupo kwenye uzinduzi wa huduma za serikali kidijitali, ikiwa kufikia sasa wameweka huduma 5,084 kwa Wakenya kupata kwa njia ya kidijitali. Na vile vile Rais ameweza kupitia sehemu mbalimbali akitizama tu na kuzindua miradi mbalimbali za kidijitali, ikiwemo pamoja na kuhakikisha kwamba kuanzia mwezi Agosti Wakenya wote nchini watakuwa wana uwezo ama watapata simu za takriban shilingi 5,000 ambazo zitakuwa zina uwezo wa kuwa na ama kupata ama za kidijitali ama ukipenda smartphones ambazo zitakuwa za bei nafuu. Na kwa sasa unavyotizama ni kwamba kuna ndoa ambayo pia inafanywa kwa njia ya kidijitali. Hebu tuone iwapo tuna sauti sawa, na iwapo rais bado rais hajafika hapo, lakini hiyo ndio ratiba ilivyo. Na ikumbuke kwamba wengi wanasema kwamba kuna kuoa kwa njia tofauti, lakini hii leo manake mambo ni dijitali na wameita kwamba gava mkononi. Ni kwamba rais sasa ataenda kuhudhuria wanasema harusi ambayo itakuwa ya kidijitali. Jamaa anamuoa mke kwa njia ya kidijitali. Na bado tu watakuwa wamefunga ndoa, watapata cheti, watavishana pete, na kisha baadaye watakwenda nyumbani wakapata watoto. Lakini ndoa ilikuwa ya kidijitali. Papa hapa inafanyika katika ukumbi wa KICC.
Yes. The receipts are here. We've seen where the payments have been going, and it seems they've been banking right, but one seems to have disappeared. But nikosho iko kwa kabati hapo hivyo, including all the files that are there. And we for sure, this is what it was. Your Excellency, where we're moving to is, yes, this is the file, the full file cabinet. Yeah. So, Your Excellency, this is where we are now. Right now, through the e-citizen platform, we've collected close to 106 billion. And with the advent of the new 5,000 services, we'll be able to pretty much go 10 times or 20 times this in less than a couple of months. So we are hoping to get that going.
From when? That 106 billion is when? From when?
This is only 300 services. 300 services that have been running on the platform, and these are small services. You're talking NTSA, BRS, the small services, very little payments, 100 shillings. The amount of 35 million transactions that are moved through that. Here we have current services onboarded, and this is what we're unveiling today. We have a log of all the particular services. This is where we are now. On this side, you have your registered users. We register both foreigners and domestic people. Wherever they are, they can access the service. So that shows where they are. So, Your Excellency, we've been here courtesy of the effort that the directive you gave us. I remember when we met earlier on this year, and you said, let's get 5,000 services on board. by June 30th. Even we were a bit worried. We were saying, are there 5,000 services? But today, Your Excellency, I would like to say that yes, they were 5,000. Actually, we think we have more than 10,000 services on the platform that will be on the platform very shortly. So we are happy to say that we've gotten this far. Your Excellency, the team that got us this far, and I would like to acknowledge them, is part of the team that is sitting in front of you here. They were acting like government officers, digital government officers. This is Mr. Larry Ogoro, Mr. Larry Weyer. He's the head of technology. This is Derek Ogare. Yes, Derek Ogare is the one who designs all the system. This is James. James, yes.
Very good.
This is James Kafiru.
Kafiru, how are you?
And this is Kiprono Kalia.
Kalia, how are you?
Yes, and Alvin is here. And we have Tom back there.
Tom
this is one of our R&D team.
Very good.
This team, Your Excellency, represents the youth of Kenya and how much the youth of Kenya can change the country. From 2014, when you started this project, Your Excellency, you were the one who said, I remember during that meeting James held at Treasury, Your Excellency, somebody raised their hand and said, will this system work? What if we get hacked? Your Excellency, you told them, we will fix it. And then you said, can we fix it? So, Your Excellency, you have literally held the Kenyan youth at, and you are a believer. 100%. So thank you very much. This gentleman can attest to that. Yes. So, Your Excellency, I would like to take you to the future, where we are now going to. Right now, services are being offered online, 100%. But we see that citizens still have a struggle in terms of how many physical documents they still have to print and how many documents they still have to hold in physical form, where birth certificates are still getting lost and all these specific things. So as part of this journey, we're planning to launch out part of the digital infrastructure as the digital ID ecosystem. And a digital ID is not a physical card with a chip. A digital ID in this particular case is specifically something that is freely accessible on your phone or just by presenting your thumbprint in this particular case. So we are happy to present that we will be shortly, hoping very soon, be able to bring you on board to present a digital ID infrastructure to you, and you will be able to launch it in the near future, hopefully 3 months from now. You should come and launch a full digital identity ecosystem for the country of Kenya, Your Excellency. Yes. So we want to tell you that this is the ecosystem. Pretty much you scan your face, your fingerprint. We can turn the current IDs the way they are into a digital ecosystem without having to reprint or to do any of those particular things, sir. We will make it efficient and as quickly as possible. So thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, we were collaborating. We've now taken over the e-citizen services. It is now a government entity. Now, this is your government, Your Excellency. These are the officers who have been holding the leash behind them to ensure that your 5,000 services are onboarded. And Your Excellency, I want to guarantee you that that ecosystem is now secure. It is easily manipulable, usable, and user-friendly. And these are the officers. Please recognize them, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Finally, Excellency, we are really proud as a ministry, as a State Department, because of the respect, the fact that you gave us an opportunity to deliver 5,000 services. We worked very hard. We started at 391 in January, and this team, in 6 months, they have been able to deliver 5,084 services. Your Excellency, for us, this is really a proud moment for the country, because we have made history as actually one of the top league countries in as far as digitization is concerned. When you look at the summit of governments, Kenya stands out because of what has been done in the last 6 months. Excellency, we are also very happy that these are homegrown solutions. Young talents from right here in Kenya have been able to develop this system. We have had quite a number of governments, quite a number of countries coming to ask, how did you do it? How did you do it? And soon, Excellency, God willing, we are going to export this talent to the region and to the world to be able to increase tax collection. Allow me, Excellency, to invite the Minister to invite you to officially launch the 5,000 services. Karibu sana, Excellency.
Excellency, thank you very much. We are very happy you found such an extended period to come and celebrate this milestone. This is your vision, Your Excellency. You gave very clear directives, and I'm happy that the colleagues who have been working on this have delivered, together with the partners, the team that has just spoken to you just now. Mine is just to say one word before I invite you, Your Excellency, which is that for us in the Ministry of Interior, this is, we're just hosting the coordination. The work has been done by everybody in government, and I want to single out the ICT Ministry, which are the owners of the technology and the wherewithal to deliver this, CS Owalo and the PS and everybody, ICTA, but also thank also every ministry, every department and every agency of government, because without their cooperation, this milestone would not have been achieved. I therefore want to thank you, and I want to, yes, Your Excellency, at this juncture, allow me to invite you to launch the milestone of the e-citizen services of the government of Kenya that has been realized up to this point. The countdown is being shown. Can somebody direct us on how to do this?
Let me take this opportunity, Waziri and your team at the ICT, at the citizen services and ICT departments for making this a reality. As one young man has said, in 2014, when we came into office at the Jubilee administration, we identified one weakness that was there in government, that it was not possible in 2014 to pay for any government service in any other way other than in cash. The only understanding of government in 2014 was payment in cash. I am very happy that today we can actually say no government service should ever be paid for in cash. Because of paying in cash, we've had a big challenge of corruption, of bribery, of confusion, of unavailability of the service, of come tomorrow, the file has got lost, the person who is supposed there is on leave, or he has gone on sick leave, or he has done this. Today, we are announcing to the people of Kenya that government services will be available online. 5,084. It's a very proud moment for me when I hear that all these government services now will go to a dedicated, non-identifiable account, 22222, controlled by the government of Kenya, by the Treasury of the Republic of Kenya. And that with this launch today, 5,084 government services will be available. You can pay for them without traveling to any office, and that we can account for the money that is paid for by the people of Kenya while paying for government services. And even the services that are available for free, people of Kenya can access. I want to thank the banks, Equity, KCB, Cooperative Bank, Safaricom, and all the other telcos for partnering with us. Now it will be possible for government services to be available in all government offices, but also available in over 300,000 spots elsewhere in Kenya, apart from being available on your telephone. And we are making it easier for people to access smartphones. As I have said, we are working with our telcos, and in August, we should be able to have access to a 4G-enabled phone that is affordable for the majority of the people of Kenya. Congratulations to all the people who put this together.
Thank you.
I did the easier part. You guys did the more difficult part, but we did it together. So I want to say I am very happy that this service is being launched today. And I have heard about the future. The future is, and Waziri again, the same way I promised the people of Kenya that we will have 5,000 services online by 30th June, and we have achieved it. In the next 90 days, we must have a digital ID. That digital ID has been traumatic for Kenya. We are all aware that there was another phantom project called huduma number. That huduma number was a complete fraud because we lost almost 15 billion shillings and got very little out of it. We must demonstrate in the next 90 days that it is possible for us to have a digital ID without spending 15 billion and without defrauding the people of Kenya. And those who did that should be ashamed of themselves. So, good people, we have a country to look after. It is our country. We must look after it. We must do whatever it is, whatever it takes to make sure that Kenya moves forward. We must tap into the talent of these young people. It is the young people of Kenya that have made this a reality. And we must applaud the young people of Kenya for their talent, for their expertise. You know, this e-citizen has been built by Kenyans. Many people across the world, when I tell them we are going to have 100% digitized government services by the end of this year, they wonder. Many people, including from the developed world, never believed that we would do 5,000 government services in 6 months. Visa, a world-renowned company, just told me they never also believed that this was possible. But it became possible because of the young people of the Republic of Kenya. Congratulations, Evid and your team. Congratulations, the people at the Ministry of ICT. Congratulations, the people at the Citizen Directorate and Citizen State Department. Waziri and your team, pongezi, for providing the leadership and for proving that Kenyans can always do their thing and make our country great. Today, I am a very proud Kenyan that with our talent, with the talent of our young people, with the knowledge of our young people, with the expertise of our young people, with the coordination of our government, today we are launching a phenomenal achievement that we have 5,000 government services online. They will be available everywhere, and that by the end of this year, we will have all government services available online. And that in the next 90 days, we are going to have a digital ID. Burn the midnight oil, do whatever you have to do, and I am sure that it will happen. And shortly, we will be collecting our taxes also using the e-citizen platform. I know there is work going on around there, but again, congratulations to all of you. Two things are outstanding for us to complete this. Digital ID, digital signature, finished. Then, asanteni sana, congratulations.
At the press of this button, Your Excellency, we have the electronic citizen solution. Ladies and gentlemen, Gava Mkononi is officially launched. Mr. President, you're welcome to now chair the cabinet briefly as we now also launch the digital signature. If the rest of us can kindly proceed also towards to take our seats. We'll have His Excellency chair the cabinet as we have the launch of the digital signature taking place.
Your Excellency, as Kenya continues to onboard e-government services and to pave a path towards digital transformation, a digital signature becomes very critical to close the loop. Allow us, with your permission, today to assign you a digital signature that will enable you to close transactions in a go, regardless of where you may be located.
Yes.
As you can all see, we have a very digital cabinet right here, doing away with a lot of paper trail, but going digital. We now have His Excellency's signature, electronic signature, done. And we have the CSs there just witnessing.
This is the digital signature now.
Yes.
And there we have the digital signature now ready for use.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We now welcome you to Gava Express. Tunaweza mkaribisha His Excellency na makofi tafadhali anapojiunga na sisi.
Let us all rise. We may take our seats, please.
Your Excellency, sir, welcome to the eCitizen Express shop. We are trying as much as possible to have the government in our hands and very close to us, so that government services are as close to us as possible, so that anybody who is in the remote areas, if they say they cannot access government services, they will be accessing the government express shops that will be across the country. We are working together with Safaricom to ensure we set all these government express shops across the country, so that everybody can now access government services as quick as they can. So this is Government Express, Gavam Kononi. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Your Excellency. This is where we say tulipe ushuru tujitegemee. I've just heard you talk about where the ultimate goal is, Your Excellency, and that is to collect taxes using the same platform. Your Excellency, very briefly, just to say that even as our core mandate is collection of revenue, mobilizing revenue. What we're trying to do is that to ensure that that is also seamless, we bring services closer to the people. And we have partnered very well with the eCitizen team, and to ensure that at least at the click of a button in the comfort of your home and wherever Your Excellency, then you're able to access our services. Very quickly, see, starting from the iTax platform, that one you can register for your PIN, you can check whether a PIN is actually valid, because we have had instances where people are going for services but they're giving other people's PIN or giving a wrong PIN. So that one you can quickly confirm that, and you can file a return. On eTIMS, Your Excellency, this is where we have the VAT platform, making it efficient, affordable, cost-effective, and as you're transacting, all your invoices are relayed to KRA, real-time or near real-time, Your Excellency. ICMS, this one again with the customs, the agents, clearing of goods, both inbound, outbound. Again, from a single window, can be accessed again through eCitizen. Here, Your Excellency, the EGMS. EGMS, where we have the track and trace for the excisable goods. And once you're registered as a licensed excise manufacturer, you have all the credentials of accessing that. You can apply for the stamps, which we use for track and trace. You can actually tell whether the product you're consuming is legit. All that, again, Your Excellency, at the click of a button. Last but not least, Your Excellency, you have again consistently talked about malpractices, tax offenses. What can we do then to curb corruption, fraud? How can we get to know this information and then nip it in the bud, Your Excellency? We have this platform, iWhistle. iWhistle, anybody can access this anonymously to relay information to us on tax offenses and malpractice. Your identity remains anonymous, and we have a token to encourage taxpayers and other people, because what we do is once we have recovered the tax, you are entitled to a 5% of the tax recovered, capped at 5 million for now, Your Excellency. So all this is just to encourage the taxpayers to say that even as we are mobilizing the revenue, we are also bringing services closer to our people, Your Excellency. Thank you very much.
Very good, Madam CG. Congratulations, Madam CG. What I want you to do is to work with the ICT people, these citizen services people, and the e-citizen platform on our tax collection. I know there's been some discussion already.
Yes.
I want that fast-tracked so that in 120 days, Bwana PS, 120 days, I want to know why we should not have completed the transition of collecting government taxes, why it will not have all been now available on the digital platform on e-citizen. On e-citizen.
Understood, Your Excellency. We will take up that challenge.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I do. Fully, Your Excellency. We've had the conversation. I fully understand what you're saying.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
To NTSA, Your Excellency, before we witness a wedding, which we shall tell you about briefly, but this is indeed a real couple. But first, we have NTSA.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, welcome to NTSA, the National Transport Safety Authority, which is an authority under the State Department of Transport and under the Ministry of Roads and Transport. All our core services, 46 of them, have been digitized. And I'm joined here today with the Director General, George Njau, who will take us through the vehicle tracking system of all the commercial vehicles in the country, and also the smart driving license system as demos to some of the core services we've done. Your Excellency, this is the face of the Hustler Authority in the Ministry of Roads and Transport, because it interacts with Kenyans and all cadres almost on a daily basis. Director General George Njau.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. We need to give dignity back to our people. Our people stand on stages. They don't know when the next transport is coming. They don't have visibility. They don't know who the driver is. They don't know the type of vehicle that is coming. We need to return the dignity back to them. This is the reason why on Monday you gave certain directives to start off. The directives included make sure that all the operators are visibly available across the country. What we're trying to demonstrate here is our first phase. We're using the speed limiter dataset, where it's supposed to limit the speed, record, and transmit. We want to take it one step further. You challenged Governor Sakaja to give us the routes. We need to know where vehicles are operating and how they're operating. From the comfort, when I was listening to you coming in, and I picked up 5 different items, the police stated that they need to know the identity of the vehicle. Now they have to do it manually. Now we can give it to them digitally. They are able to do that. I picked up as well the issue of Wi-Fi. If you look at all this congregation of people, each matatu sits between 14 to 25 people. So beyond the market, our bus stops, that is where our youth are. So as you're trying to roll out the digital hotspots, please consider our bus stops. This is where our people are, our real hustlers. I had people saying they are the hustlers there. We are the hustlers. We are the users of the data. Your Excellency, we go even further than that. We want to show you, for example, the scheduled services. You have directed us to have a BRT system. We cannot have a BRT system in the manual methodology that we have, where you stand at a stage and wait for vehicles. We have a congregation of now housing that is coming up, of 5 to 10,000 houses. If you multiply at a housing factor of 5, that's 25,000 people. We need to be able to have them leave the houses, enter into a scheduled bus service. I'm sure you remember the 23 route. That started in Outer Ring all the way. We need to go back to that, Your Excellency. So this is the spirit we have here. And one of the areas that you directed on Monday is to work with the county transport safety committees and at the Council of Governors to issue us with the routes so we can be able to now define and be able to establish where they're operating up to the segmentation of it. Lastly, Your Excellency, as we come to an end, I want to show you the benefit of why we're here today. You're proud for 5,084. I'm proud for a different reason. We used to have to identify Kenyans. Now I don't have to anymore. National Registration Bureau will do it and give me the ID number. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know your date of birth. The CRS system will be able to give me the date of birth. KRA, I don't need to ask you to give me my PIN number. KRA will give me my PIN number directly. So what you have done, sir, is to the common mwananchi. You have made it so simple that at the click of putting an ID number, you'll pre-populate 50% of the data that used to have to come in manually into a file that is kept, obviously, as you stated somewhere, that needed to be retrieved at a later spot. So, Your Excellency, we are proud and we shall be able to deliver more services to Kenyans. Thank you.
Thank you, Bwana PS. Your Excellency, sir, this is a wedding, which is a culmination of a digital process initiated through a revamped e-citizen platform, and one does not need to do anything physically, only the solemnization. So at this point, I'm going to ask the registrar to just come and take them through the process. But for those watching, and Your Excellency, this is a process that is now fully digitized, and nobody needs to visit any office for any work except the solemnization. So this is the culmination, and just for your information, Your Excellency, this couple is a real couple that are going to get married, and after they leave, we shall release them to enjoy their honeymoon. Wapi makofi ya bwana na bi harusi? Registrar, you may proceed.
Harusi tunayo hatuna. Siwasikii, harusi tunayo hatuna. Wedding we have not. Kama unataka kupinga, this is your chance, my friend.
I hope we are ready. Good afternoon, all protocols observed. My name is Lois, an assistant registrar from the Office of the Attorney General. Before us is our groom, Nicholas, and bride, Judith. Our witnesses will be Benson and Cecilia. So before we proceed, we'll ask the groom to unveil the bride, just to be sure that she's the right bride. Nicholas, is she the one?
necessary a couple. It's not a demonstration.
Just to make it clear that this is a real couple who have gone through the eCitizen portal. They made their application about 2 months ago, and they went through the 21 days, and now they're here, we are solemnizing their marriage. So, before we proceed, is there anybody who wants to object this marriage? So if there is none, then you'll be silent for life. So Nicholas and Judith, is it true that you're here today for the purpose of becoming husband and wife?
Yes.
Do I understand that you, Nicholas, and Judith are here for the purpose of becoming husband and wife?
Yes.
Judith?
Yes.
Know ye that by the public taking of your vows to each other as man and wife, in my presence and in the presence of your witnesses, and by the signing of this marriage certificate, you become legally married to each other. This marriage cannot be dissolved in your lifetime unless by a valid judgment of divorce. And if either of you contracts any other marriage, while this remains in existence, you shall be guilty of an offense of bigamy, which is punishable by law. That means one husband, one wife. Is that clear, Nicholas?
Yes.
Okay, so the witnesses kindly hand us over the rings. Nicholas, you take her ring and hold her left hand. Say, I call upon.
I call upon
All persons.
All persons.
Here present.
Here present.
To witness.
To witness.
That I, Nicholas.
That I, Nicholas.
Do take you, Judith.
Do take you, Judith.
To be my lawful.
To be my lawful.
Wedded wife.
Wedded wife.
Put the ring. You can clap for them. Thank you very much. Judith, you can take his ring. Hold his left hand. Say, I call upon.
I call upon.
All persons.
All persons.
Here present.
Here present.
To witness.
To witness.
That I, Judith.
That I, Judith.
Do take you, Nicholas.
Do take you, Nicholas.
To be my lawful.
To be my lawful.
Wedded husband.
Wedded husband.
Put the ring. And by the public taking of these vows and the powers given to me under the Marriage Act, I now pronounce you, Nicholas and Judith, as husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
Congratulations.
So we will proceed to the signing table before